When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
Support for Quebec's Bill 21, of course, that's the bill for secularism in a neutral state. Well, we've seen some support coming from an unlikely place, Ontario. Now, following the uprising in Iran by women who have been seeking freedom from their enforced Islamic dress code, there's been widespread support throughout Canada and across the world for that cause. And now many are looking at our own laws and how we may want to change them here in this country as well. Iranian-Canadian activist Homa Arjomand played a vital role in outlawing Sharia Islamic law from family courts in this country and is now looking to Bill 21 in Quebec for more inspiration. She wants education and other public services in Ontario to be secular based on the model of Quebec's Bill 21. And Homa Arjomand joins me now on the line. Homa, welcome to the show. Homa, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, it's great to talk to you, Homa. And, let me tell you, as a radio host in this province, in Quebec, I actually usually have to fight with my guests over Bill 21. There's especially on the English side in Quebec, there are so many people that are against the law. Of course, on the Francophone side in this province, lots of support. So I took a lot of interest in you and the fact that you're saying, hey, in Ontario, we need to look at a law like Bill 21 and maybe bring some of those ideas to Ontario. Tell our listeners why you're looking to Quebec's Bill 21.
Because my heart aches when I see children attending religious schools. My heart aches when I see women are living in so-called religious community because of multiculturalism and cultural relativism. The laws are all against women and children mostly, because I cannot bear seeing people fighting each other because of their belief in gender. It's unbelievable, because I strongly believe that Bill 21 is a very positive move towards equal treatment of all residents without any kind of discrimination based on religion. It makes government of Quebec and Ontario, hopefully would adopt it soon, to ensure the rights of individuals rather than community rights. So individual rights means that women would have a right in the family and communities, and it would lift religion from them totally, hopefully, and they would be free. Individuals, they can choose whatever they want to be. So that's the main move, and why I strongly believe that Bill 21 would bring the widest protection for individuals regarding civil rights and individual rights and welfare rights. So why not going for this? People in Iran, 50,000 people rallied in Toronto against the Islamic regime of Iran and requesting the Canadian government to ban all their the leaders of Islamic Republic of Iran financials who are money laundering, and also they are requesting for secular law in Iran. So consider only Toronto, 50,000, and there are so many in Montreal, in Quebec, in Calgary, everywhere. We all want secular law. And to be honest, we want to adopt a secular law such as France, and still not too bad in Quebec. We want people to be free of religion, but also be free, individually being free to choose whatever they want to be.
So, Homa, this is very interesting, right? And what you just said here, because what people tell me, right? Of course, I'm in favor of Bill 21, but what people say to me is like, well, Elias, Bill 21 is discrimination. If a woman will lose her job or man, if someone will lose their job because of a religious symbol, that is discrimination. What do you say to someone that says, no, it's Bill 21 that's discrimination?
I would say you have never lived in a country ruled by Islamic. You have never lived like France under religious rules and regulations. And therefore, don't talk about discrimination. We want neutral government. We want government to be responsible for individual rights. We want government to protect women and children. And how dare you say this bill is discriminating when you see children have been under influence of religion from very young age. 5-year-old is putting this hijab on them. How dare you say this is discriminating when there is no right for children to swim, to dance, to sing, to be free, to play with the children and integrate? How dare you say this is discrimination when you see women are pushed to obey the religion because of community pressure? So you have never lived in those societies that is totally living under the pressure of, religion. To be honest, Bill 21 brings freedom of religion and freedom of expression as well, but freely, not by force, not by enforcement, not by pressure, not by society pressure. It gives them the right, whether they want to choose the religion or not to choose the religion. It gives them right to rally among the free thinkers or not to rally among them and be against them. So it brings that individual freedom of expression and freedom of religion as well. It's not a weapon against religion. But when it comes to public, we want neutrality. We want total separation of religion from every part of government. We want government to protect the rights of individuals. The only way that could happen is to adopt similar bills such as Quebec Bill 21.
We're with Homa Arjomand, an Iranian-Canadian activist who's been looking at Quebec's Bill 21 and says a time is right for an idea like that in Ontario, her province. Now, Homa, let me throw something at you, okay? So as I host this show, I get messages. It's not lost to me. You're Iranian-Canadian. I get messages from listeners, and when they're originally from Iran, Tunisia, Algeria, they send me messages and they say, Elias, thank you for supporting Bill 21. Thank you so much. And then I get messages from people who call themselves liberals, right? They say, I'm a liberal, I'm progressive. How dare you be in favor? It's discrimination. And then we look at the federal government, look at the federal liberals. How many MPs and the prime minister of this country, Justin Trudeau, has called Bill 21 discrimination and that. What do you think explains the reason why people from Iran, Tunisia, Algeria, all these countries will be in favor, and then you see people who are progressive, left-leaning individuals who are against it? What explains it to you?
You know, in my experience, and I'm 70 years old, always been fighting for women's rights and children's rights and put my life in danger because of that. And look at what happened to Salman Rushdie for freedom of expression. The reality is the liberals are talking behind their closed door in their bedroom. They are not touching the life. They have never, ever did go to a community so-called Islamic. They have never, ever did go to a community that is run by so-called Jewish or any other religion. They don't know how the women in those communities suffer. When we were running a campaign, international campaign against Sharia court in Ontario, can you believe that? We had to run international campaign against Sharia court in Ontario. We had to ask the activists across the world to go to Canadian embassy in their country and say no Sharia court in Ontario, because they do not see if religion becomes a movement, it becomes very dangerous. So they don't see that. Even if they do see that, they tend to close their eyes and turn their back as if nothing is happening.
I have to wrap up the interview here, Homa, but just one last quick question. What kind of support are you seeing in Ontario? Are you seeing support for your view amongst lots of people?
To be honest, when I talk to secularist people, the like-minded people, I realize that they still living in 2003, they still think about minority rights rather than individual rights. But among Iranians, among people who came from so-called Islamic country, I have lots of support. When I say lots of support, since this interview came out in the Sun, every day I've received at least 10, 15 letters saying, oh, we just read it and so happy that you stood up against, all these liberal views. So thank you for being the voice of us. Thank you. Please continue to be voice of us. I have hope, and our target is within next year, not farther than next year, 2024, people would rally and ask for similar law and regulation as Bill 21 in Ontario.
Homa Arjomand, Iranian-Canadian activist, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.